Good evening, people. Good evening, good evening. How are you all doing? Yes, this is Spirit Journey, and it's September. What day it is. I'm not sure what day it is. It could be the 28th, and the time is, oh God, I can't even tell what time it is. Looks like it's approaching, could be approaching 7 o'clock. Yeah, the room is kind of dark in here. So, yeah, no, it's been a couple of days since I did another live stream. Been very busy lately, and I want to talk about some things today. Um, yeah, the last thing I talked about was about the migrant situation in New York City, and I did go out yesterday. I stayed in today, but yeah, I've been staying indoors for I think about 4 days, and my little doggies are getting cranky. Yeah, it affects dogs. Yeah, it was actually raining for the past 4 days, but I did go out yesterday, and it was very nice. And today it was very overcast, and it's actually cold now. Yeah, it's cold now. Yes, fall is around the corner, but it's all good. So, um, I was watching videos, and I'm learning about some things that are happening now in the city. Um, this city, New York, in East Harlem, they said, and in Philly, good old Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I want to share with you today some news clipping, news on these two cities that they've been some looting happening. And I'm going to share with you, after showing you two clips, what I think this all means, these rampage, these looting. So let me do so now. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you. Just take a few seconds. Did that right. Oh, I have a lot of, oh, this looks different now. Sorry, it's not showing, it's not showing me YouTube. Let me see what happens here. Well, that's not it. Let me find out what's going on. Hold on a minute. This is where, let's see. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of windows open, so maybe, I don't know why I did that. I apologize. Yeah, I have many tabs open. Um, that's usually never a problem in the past. Let's see what's going on here. This is weird. Yeah, it's registering that. Let me put on a small screen here. Let me see something. Yeah, I want to try to resolve that. Okay. There's a lot of, I don't know how that happened. Okay, close me. I have to close. Okay, I have to close some windows here. Sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, now it might work. Let's see here. Let's see. Your browser has blocked your screen. Click on the screen. Let's see. Your browser has blocked your screen. Click the screen icon in your address bar to allow access to reload the page. It's weird. Let's see, your browser has click the screen icon in the app. And just, okay. Let's see if it's clear as this. I apologize for this. Yeah, let me try again. Okay, share screen. Okay, this should do it. Have a lot of windows. Okay, let me just click on the first one here. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna make the screen bigger. And I'm gonna play the short clip. Oh, okay. This one is on Philly. Let me play it now.
Sign of the Times story, and this sign of the Times does not bode well, not for New York City and not for New York.
That's because Target is shutting down its store in East Harlem and several places across the country. The issue? Theft. The retailer is saying it's not only hurting business, but it's compromised the safety of employees and customers.
So what does it all mean, Target closing in East Harlem? And what does it say about the sign of the Times? I was reporter Bill Torres, live at the store for us. Joe?
Bill, the closure of this Target, it is a body blow to this community, for the people who shop here, for the many people who work here. And consider this Target store is the anchor store here at the East River Plaza. And the long-term concern that many have is this: if Target's leaving, who will do the same?
See all this great stuff?
Convenience, value, and location. That holy trifecta is why the largely black and brown shoppers in East Harlem adore their Target store. The store's closure on October 21st left shoppers wondering,
Where are the people in the community going to go now?
exactly.
Yeah, they have to go to the Bronx.
In a statement, Target explained why it made the difficult decision to shutter this store and 8 others on the West Coast. Theft and organized retail crime are threatening the safety of our teens and guests. We can only be successful if the working and shopping environment is safe for all. And clearly it's not, according to some of the shoppers we talked to. Shoppers who have witnessed the thieves in action.
Many times I see people walking through the exit door, back the door of Target with stuff inside their hands.
It's sad because it's our community is the reason why it's closing. They're coming here and destroying what we have.
Mm-hmm. Community Board 11 Chair Xavier Santiago, who helped bring Target to East Harlem in 2009, told us he and his fellow board members hope to convince Target's corporate leaders to reconsider their decision.
Our hope with Target is that they'll always lean in. Again, we were surprised and caught flat-footed when we heard the news yesterday morning, and we'd like to have conversations ongoing.
The closure announcement even caught the NYPD off guard. The police department worked with Target by posting extra cops on the street. Arrests went up while shoplifting cases went down.
Barrio depends on places like this to survive, and no one likes to hear that big partners in the community are leaving.
Now, there is also a Costco here at the East River Plaza, but Target shoppers are quick to tell you Costco, for several reasons, doesn't work for them. There's a membership fee. Many people here live in small apartments. Volume warehouse shopping doesn't fit the bill. And frankly, the selection just isn't the same.
Wow. Okay. Now, that is something else. So even with having cops, it's not protecting, they're just getting bolder. And now I'm going to show you another one. Make it bigger. Oh my God.
Introducing the safest dog fence ever created. The new Halo.
Sorry about that. Wow, people. Wow. I'm really sad when I show you those. Yeah, I was alerted to the looting with the YouTuber that I watch, and I said, let me go check some videos directly, see what's going on. I am very sad right now, very, very sad that it's senseless. It is senseless to, I'm going to tell you my interpretation, what I think this all means. I feel with the East Harlem target, I think certain neighborhoods are targeted. No play on words. I'm not trying to play on words here, but they don't want the viability. Yeah, you have people, I believe, they want to disenfranchise certain neighborhoods. Crime could happen anywhere in life, but it's like certain neighborhoods just seem to not thrive with certain stores. Like I live in New York City, and we have several Targets here. Within less than a mile apart, maybe a 15-minute walk from the two Targets. People seem well behaved. I never seen any looting here. But see, East Harlem, Harlem in general, whether East Harlem or Central Harlem in Manhattan, it's like I don't go there often, but it's like to get a major store in these areas is very difficult for whatever reason. And people may say, oh, well, it's a poor neighborhood. Poverty could happen anywhere. And you have people from all over the city, and they may come to different neighborhoods to shop. Just like I'm gonna go to different locations and do my shopping. And it has never been an issue in this area. It's this area where I go to. It has a lot of tourism. It has a lot of everything. It's constantly moving and moving and moving. But I personally haven't seen any direct looting here. I'm just I'm just sad right now. Areas up there, it's very congested. Harlem area, East Harlem, and it's a growing. At least when I used to work up in Harlem, I did volunteer work up there about 11 years ago. Sorry about that. About 11 years ago, 11, 12 years ago, I worked up in Harlem, Central Harlem, and it has things, but not like not a lot of major stores. And it's just not, even though you have a lot of people there, you do have a lot of new immigrants in the area. And many of them do come, may not be wealthy. It's a lot of people up there now. A lot of people in Central Harlem, and I would imagine East Harlem as well. Yeah, they need quality shopping for food, clothing. It's like they have a lot of nothing up there. There's stores, but it's not. If you really want to get something of quality, you have to go to other neighborhoods, and people want to shop. People should be able to shop in their own neighborhood. Keep the money in your neighborhood. So Target, as you saw, is forced to close the East Harlem location and several others due to theft, looting. And why are certain locations being targeted? I ask myself. They cannot afford in the area security. And again, they did mention that the police were helping out the area and doing more arrests. So what's going on? And then you learn that looting in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, there was what do you call it, an incident that happened earlier. It was a trial of against the cop for killing a person that was in a car, and he was acquitted or something like that. That the charges were dropped. Charges were dropped on insufficient information, and they do have the incident on video of what occurred. And some people did protest. It was a peaceful protest. And then later on that evening, you had large numbers of young people looting stores. Census, as you saw. And I'm asking myself, how is something like this? Looting a store and what happens with the police officer are two separate things. Why does one justify the other? It doesn't justify, but it happened. And again, they could have just so happened to want to loot that day. Looting does not serve anyone really. It's actually hurting the residents of those areas because now the people cannot shop in that store. People now losing jobs. This is the key thing. People are losing work. And I think that may be the goal. And I feel that this is an orchestrated attack. I think what's happening, Target is just the ultimate what happened, closing down a series of stores, Target stores. It seems as though in my opinion, I could be wrong, but could this be social engineering? I ask myself, is this social engineering to get a person to organize on social media? Hey, let's get a few people and have them go to a specific area and cause havoc through looting. Some of the stores, there were liquor stores that were targeted, cell phone stores, and all these things, clothing stores. Why? What are they going to really get out of it? Yes. They can take the items that are stolen and try to sell it on the street. But in the end, how long that money is going to last? It's nothing, and it's doing more harm to the residents of those areas. Companies closing down, people losing, poor people who depend on these stores to get a little job, such as in East Harlem. It's not a lot of viability. It's like pulling teeth to get any major stores up there. What makes certain areas a magnet for high theft? Enough that businesses don't want to even open up shop there. You have people of low income come to other areas and shop freely. New York City have key stores, that are favorites for New Yorkers. They go to certain stores for years, and they buy things and they go back home. They can live in Brooklyn. They can come from the Bronx, uptown, downtown. Why? And I don't want to feel that it's just because of their so-called race or skin color, because crime could happen anywhere. And one YouTuber that I watched discussed about crime in general in the United States. See, there's what they call blue collar crime, and things like looting, robbing someone with a weapon on the street. Those are considered like blue collar crime. And then when something is, let's say, corporations or embezzlement, what else? Um, Things like that. What would hold white collar crimes when it's against a corporation, or let's say it's through the internet, stealing someone's identity is another, and that white collar crime is actually more prevalent in its monetary value in the billions, in the hundreds of billions, white collar crime, and very few are prosecuted. And that I was surprised about. But blue collar crime is heavily prosecuted. Why is that? Isn't a crime a crime? So anybody, any demographics could fit in a demographics where people of white collar crime live or even work, and the same as blue collar crime. They can live in let's say a 1 mile radius of each other. But still, to have an area that's being targeted versus another, what makes this happen? And I'm speculating or coming to the conclusion that could these incidences, like the looting, could this be an orchestrated occurrences to shut down certain neighborhoods, to make them inviable, so that it could create static in those areas, more violence and frustration and crime, in order to manipulate legislation, people, shutdowns. You what I'm getting at? Could this be something that's orchestrated? And again, targeting what they call Black and brown neighborhoods. It's so classic. It's always seems to be the case. Other neighborhoods are hardly touched. I mean, a thief could work in any neighborhood. But when you have mass, a lot of stores closing down, I'm wondering whether that's what's happening. Certain locations, like someone might want a good excuse to leave a neighborhood, so you just hire a few people. Not saying that's what happened in East Harlem Target, but I'm wondering, just when certain neighborhoods, like a business comes in that's needed. That's needed because you need the items to purchase. You don't want to have to travel so far out of your neighborhood, right? They're willing to shop in other neighborhoods and they're not looting those other stores like this. Why is it? Why is these areas? You know, so in Philly they had they said about 100 people in the streets looting and just creating so much havoc. How are these young kids being, I should say it, young people being mobilized? And I'm thinking through social media, perhaps. Maybe they have an app on their phone, like an email list. You have someone that has an email list, just presses a button on the app, sends out a request to everyone who's on that email list, and then you have it. I'm wondering whether are these things being done in certain neighborhoods, and for what reason? I mean, we came through, you know, the that thing that happened starting in that shutdown that happened in 2020. A lot of businesses shut down. You had again, like unemployment now, large number of unemployment. People have to stay at home for weeks. And this put an edge on people. This made a lot of people depressed. People jumping out of their windows. It was horrible. This was horrible. So what's going on? Wasn't this enough? All this pain? And then, as I mentioned in a couple of videos, you had the migrants that are in town now, and 10,000 a month. I think they said 10,000 a month. We have now over 120,000 new people in an area that has lost a lot of its shine, a lot of its viability. So many people are unemployed. A lot of businesses in certain neighborhoods just shut down permanently. And now the weather's getting colder in New York City now. The past 3 days, it's getting, it's picking up the chill factor here. So you're gonna have people, all these migrants now, on the streets. See, the migrants are given 60 days to stay at one of the hotels, and then they have to fetch for themselves. Now they also have a processing center. And they're literally on the sidewalk waiting, because it's a long line, massive numbers of people waiting to be processed so they can get a place to stay and to register and then get a room to stay in at one of the migrant hotels. The hotels that they're setting aside for the migrants, I should say. Now the weather's getting colder. People are going to get sicker, right? And now I saw, for the first time in a long time, one of those C19 booths that you can get tested on. So that's signifying that it is increasing now, certain sicknesses. And so it could result in, oh God, when I think about it, massive number of sick people. And when you're in close proximity and you're on the street and your immune system goes down, could this result in an epidemic? Yes, good evening, viewer. Good evening, good evening. Oh, I see now the time. Yeah, the time is now 7:17. Yeah, I see the bar now. Yeah, it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit in New York City right now. It was in the 50s earlier today. The low 50s. Yeah, I stayed in today. Yeah. I'm very sad about what I'm picking up. I see chaos ahead. I'm very intuitive about certain things. I feel things deeply. I've always been this way, and I hope I'm wrong about all of this. Um, it's like you see this you see the signs. You see um, an event, and these events has an outcome. Having people who don't have money from another country or not from the area, and then you plot them at a location, and then they have to fend for themselves, their children with their mommies, young men. And so there was an incident where these young men in the hotels were attacking the women that were in there. There were 2 arrests. So that's not good. People are getting edgy. People are getting edgy, even inside the migrant hotels. Weather's it's getting cold, folks, and when you're hungry and cold, you may feel desperate, people. You may feel desperate. And this is a problem. This is a real problem. What if you're walking on, down the street, and in desperation, and again, they're bringing in young single men in their early 20s who's idle, and these migrants have these, they call them motorbikes, and they go real fast, I heard. And what was done before, that they're used in robberies, to rob people, and then you speed away. So someone's getting desperate, and the holidays are coming, people. The gobble gobble, Christmas and New Year's, that is coming up quickly. Oh, and Halloween too. Trick or treat, right? Remember? What can happen during those holidays or celebrations? People could get ugly and desperate. They want to get things for their children, right? A lot of children involved here. And you have locals that are homeless, and they're getting ugly too. Remember over the summer, it was a couple of months ago, you had a person on social media who announced that they were going to give out freebies at Union Square area in Manhattan. And they said it was a couple of thousand people, young people, and they were being very violent, causing destruction. It was real bad mess. And again, how does all those people, I mean, yes, make an announcement, but all of a sudden just boom, that many people to come to a location. I know this never happened before in New York City. Not like that. I've never seen that here. I've been here, born and raised here, and I never heard of something like that. Thousands. Over 1,000, I think it was. Within minutes. This is very telling of the signs of the times. People are becoming reactive for a freebie. Stores are shutting down. Stores that are very important in neighborhoods that don't have a lot of quality shopping. They're forced to go into other neighborhoods. And then now with the looting. Could they try to set up an event here in New York City, like in Philly? They don't like what happened with involving a police officer, and boom, it's the same type of behavior. It's the same type of behavior. Yes, hello, Bureau. I'm very concerned for my city. I love New York. Yes, I love New York. But I don't love the mess. I don't love the mess. Yes, I'm seeing, like they have one street in New York City, 8th Avenue, where you have the migrants hang out with their motorbikes. And then you have other new immigrants on the on 9th Avenue, up from a different location, new people, new migrants, from a totally different area, from what looks like from West Africa. So when you have from south of the border and one across the ocean, all of a sudden, yeah, I usually don't go on 9th Avenue. I haven't been on 9th Avenue in a long while. And as I did go out yesterday. The weather looked beautiful. I went out with my dogs, and I said, "Hey, let me just take this road and see what's changed." And boy, did I see what changed! And I'm worried. You got a bunch of young men being brought in. Well, again, I have to back up a little bit. The ones from 9th Avenue, it looks like they don't have the motorbikes. They have the regular orange city bikes that they've been using to deliver food. Yeah, 9th Avenue is restaurants, a strip of restaurants. And I've seen them deliver food. But now it's even more than just there congregating, talking. I haven't heard anything violent there. They're being hired to deliver the food. But then you got the 8th Avenue, people from south of the border with the motorbikes and how they got the motorbikes, if they're supposed to be destitute. I don't know. I feel, I get the impression that maybe they're being sponsored. They're being given certain things because I'm thinking that possibly they could be mobilized to do something at a specified time. And if that's the case, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm just being over concerned. I hope I am wrong. But I feel that there is disaster coming very soon. Yes, please pray for my city. Any of you who are out there. Again, there's nothing wrong of immigrating lawfully into a country. Nothing wrong with that. You go in the front door, you have your passport, you get stamped, you go through the process like everybody else. New York City has tons of people from all over the world. And they come in through the front door, and then they go through the process if they want to get their relatives. It's all good. But to bring in busloads of people, and again, New York City got hit real hard from 2020 to 2022. It got hit really, really hard. Really hard. People are hurting here. Yeah, we're getting back, the tourism, but now I see. I feel that now maybe the tourists may not want to come now. They don't want to get attacked by a migrant. Not to say that because someone is a migrant. Some migrants are truthful that maybe there was a situation in the home country, maybe they being targeted themselves, political asylum, maybe they want. But I'm talking about people who are coming over the border, sneaking into the border, and they may not have good intention. And again, the job market is small. Whether it's very scarce, and it's very scarce for young people. And the area where they have a lot of young Black people who are jobless, or they have insufficient work. Maybe they're only part-time, they need a full-time job to be able to take care of themselves. It's not viable for many of us. And I'm concerned. And it's more now drug use in the area. We have all these, what do you call it? They call them dispensaries popping up everywhere. And who do you see in those dispensaries? Other Black folk like myself, young Black men, young Black men. That's who you see. That's who you see selling it on the street, and that's who you see using it. And slowly I'm starting to see females, Black females using it. And at least it looks like it could be, that with the women. The men, they smoke it boldly. So the women, they have, I don't, it looks like it could be that. The women, the females seem to be more discreet of of whatever what they're smoking. Yeah, I'm very sad about all this. I love New York City, and I want the safety for the local residences here in New York City. We have plenty of residences. And again, we had a lot of problems in 2021. It was very hectic. People's lives were at jeopardy. And again, a lot of businesses shut down. Yes, we have some that are opening again, but a lot of businesses shut down. I'm concerned that there's going to be a curfew. They're supposed to be curfews for people who are in the migrant hotels. Because that in homeless shelters in general, you have to be in your bed at a certain time. If you're not in there, your bed would be taken away from you and someone else will be placed in there instead. That's how it goes. But they're not given a curfew. And so, what could happen? No curfew, you maybe do mischief. And I really feel all this is part of the social engineering. They want to bring in these people. See, election is coming about a little over a year from now. And they want to get these people in. And so you're going to have a new voting. They're going to give them IDs. And they can just say, "Oh, I'm to vote." And you cannot in New York City because it is a liberal city, and it's unfair to ask a person of color if they have ID to vote because that's considered racist. Remember that. See that how things are being set up? It's being set up. Can't ask them because you're a racist then, right? See, they're using, this is part of social engineering, in my opinion. The liberals are relying on this element. They're exploiting it and hurting our community. Manhattan Island, it's a great island to work and play in, but it's going downhill quickly. I'm concerned, even though it's going down quickly, they are still building all these new infrastructures. And what I think was happening, yes, they want to build up the buildings because it's going to be a new demographic. The old school, and I'm part of that old school, old residences, the people who've been living here a long time, are going to be pushed out. The new Ivy League school graduates are going to be coming into the high-rise apartments to live in. And then the migrants will be kicking out, pushing out young Black teens, whatever, the Black folk. And they'll be the new people getting the entry jobs, but working at a restaurant or, retail, things like that. I see it being a total remake. And won't be speaking English anymore. And I love my language. I love my country. And I feel in 2 years from now, it's going to be completely different. Completely different. And I just don't like the feel of it. There's microaggressions. See, I don't mind meeting different people, but I do mind social engineering. And social engineering that is to intimidate the regular people, the locals, and the microaggressions. Like, let's say you go to a store to buy something, they don't want to give you service because you're a local. And I started to experience what seems like microaggressions in stores. So when the numbers of migrants, whether they're people who are legally in the country but are new, and the migrants, that the behavior starts to change to certain locals. And I feel it's being directed to locals of color. I don't see this microaggression against white people. So what's going on? The whites, a lot of whites left. So you got young white people who don't have money, who don't have the luxury to leave. They're stuck. They're stuck here in New York City. Yeah, things are expensive. Things are expensive all over. So that's my interpretation of the recent events that are happening here in New York City, and I mentioned about Philly. These things could happen in any state, and I believe that they're going to be mobilized to do American harm. Just my opinion. Again, I hope I'm wrong. Please pray for me and the country for safety, peace, and that legal residences, locals, could find work so that they can take care of themselves. So with that being said, I thank you for this time, and please share your comments below. Let me know what's happening in your neighborhood. Are similar things happening? Big major stores are shutting down in your neighborhood. Are you having those what called motorbikes right by migrant centers? Are people just hanging out? Are stores being looted? Please share your experiences where you live down below. And should you like this content that I'm giving, please feel free to PayPal me. You can go to my channel, Spirit Journey, and on the banner on the right-hand side, you'll see my PayPal me link. Just click on the link, follow the prompt, and any amount will be greatly appreciated. I thank you in advance. Thank you again. Peace, love, joy, and harmony, and favor be unto you. Take care and have a safe night. Bye-bye.